Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Shalom alaikum, brothers and sisters. We are having a nice, beautiful reaction video today, and we are checking out Bob at Speaker's Corner. He's going to talk to a bunch of people, including Muslims. So we want to hear exactly what today's discussion is going to be about. But before we get started, do me a favor, drop a like on the video, leave a comment down below as the video is going along. And if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. Let's not waste any more time. Let's go and let's get it.
Thying his bride. Let me explain what thying is.
Be nice, Mr. Bean.
It is when
Where's
you
the
take
picture in
your
this video?
male member, your phallics, and you place it between the thighs of the child, and you rub it gently against her vagina. And Muhammad thied his bride, Muhammad, Aisha, before he consummated that marriage. Ladies and gentlemen,
What are
do you
we
want to find
talking
the
about
hadith
here?
so we can read it to everybody?
I'll tell you what.
Can you try?
I haven't got it on.
Can you look on Google? Try and find it on Google, bro.
I'll say something. I want to add to it, and I'm on your side, right? Muhammad was not a prophet; he was a paedophile. And the reason there is child molestation
so this is a video against Islam. It's a hateful speech against Islam.
Big today in Yemen. Lots of it goes on in Yemen.
And Iraq.
It's a Shia
And Afghanistan. And Syria.
Devilish practice that exposes the true spirit behind Islam.
And
One
Somalia.
I don't know if you've mentioned this.
Well, no, because I wanted to do a talk
What
and
is this
everyone's
true
jumping in
spirit?
on the talk that I wanted
Pedophilia?
to
That's
do.
what you guys are saying?
Brother, help me by finding the hadith about thying. That's how you can help me. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've read it. Ladies and gentlemen, would you like, go on? Yes, of course, come in and respond.
You're talking about something that
Yeah.
occurred 1,400 years ago.
Correct.
Okay? Society was different, right? We
Yes.
had norms going on for the society.
Yes.
The norms were the same in Europe, in Africa, in Asia. This is what the society was like. People did not get married through love. No, they had arranged marriages. And this is an arranged marriage. Everybody knew
A lot of
that it's
arranged
not something
marriages.
that he was doing on his own. This is the norm.
How old was she when the arranged
We don't
marriage
know,
occurred?
whatever it
The
is.
hadiths are very clear.
Whatever it is, this is the norm. This
Six.
is the norm of
Sahih
the
al-Bukhari.
society. This is the norm of the society that she was living in.
Can I reply?
This is the norm.
Can I
okay?
reply?
This is not something that's extraordinary that he did. No.
Can I reply?
This is the way it was.
Can I reply?
Okay.
Do you believe,
Right.
I'm guessing you're a Muslim,
Yes.
do you believe that Muhammad is an example to all of us here today?
Yes. Yes.
In all of his conduct,
Yes.
including in his marriage to a child?
She was a child.
Including in his marriage to a child? Answer that question.
The problem is that you define him as a child, but that's not the way it is.
Well, how would you
I'm
define
not
a
gonna
6-year-old?
talk to you like today, yeah, maybe a child. But,
But 1400 years ago, not a child.
We don't know. We don't
No,
know.
we do know.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do know.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do
No,
know.
we don't know. Because
Shall I
we are
explain
different.
why we know?
Because, I tell you why.
Shall I explain why we know?
Let me tell you.
Yeah, I will. I'll let him finish and then I'll explain why we know Aisha was a child.
Because the development, the people are not the same. The developmental.
The Quran talk about women, not minor. And besides, the Quran.
Right, ladies and gentlemen,
The Quran,
here's why we know
Surat An-Nisa,
Aisha was not a
chapter 4
child.
and 5.
Ladies
It
and
says,
gentlemen,
وَقَالَ
the
and
Muslims
says,
try to argue
the orphan
that
ability to
1400 years
receive
ago,
a sound judgment.
children
And this is
developed
criteria.
differently in the past
Right.
No.
because of the heat. Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
yes, he says, yes.
Africa,
It is utter rubbish.
It's not rubbish.
Ladies and
In Africa,
gentlemen,
if in Africa, you can
biology
find
for
somebody-
human
No,
beings
you can find
is
somebody
driven the
who
same
develops
everywhere.
differently. There are-
Ladies and
there are
gentlemen,
people who
The
are
age of
60
women
and
now.
6-year-old children do not have the frontal lobes for long-sighted decisions. That is a biological fact today, and it was a biological fact 1400 years ago. Ladies and gentlemen, the logic of the Muslim apologist for Muhammad's rape and abuse of a child is that because Aisha had her period. That's the argument. At 9, this is called precocious puberty, I believe is the medical term. It's a malfunctioning body that starts to release eggs early.
The criteria of
But,
marriage and
ladies
Quran,
and gentlemen,
you can read
it doesn't follow that the hips have widened
the women
to have a child, or that the frontal lobes have developed as an adult. And as such, even this, if you bleed, you can breed mentality demonstrates itself to be backward, barbaric, and savage. Where exactly am I reading? Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me just record to you.
No, he doesn't.
If it goes dark.
He's barking.
Right.
Give you another chance.
3 miles away, you can.
Where is this from? I need the source.
Just above it.
Quran criteria for
Source,
marriage.
musical.
Surah An-Nisa, chapter 5, verse number 4. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say, test the orphan ability to receive it.
Yeah, but it doesn't give a
without
source.
judgment. So they need
So-
to be
Are these guys
I'm going to
debating
read-
or what are they doing?
I'm going to read an
Making
Islamic
noise.
source, but I confess that the person that found it for me hasn't found it with its origin. But these are the words you can research yourself. That is why Muhammad placed his male member between her thighs and massaged it softly, as the apostle of Allah had control of his male member, not like other believers. That's what the Islamic sources say about Muhammad placing his penis between the thighs of a prepubescent child. Could you find the source? Click on the link, see what it says. Now, ladies and gentlemen, many Muslims find this shocking, and I applaud them for doing so, because it shows that you have a good conscience. And that's the reason why Yahya is trying to argue against it, because Yahya doesn't want to believe in the Prophet of Islam.
I believe
Yahya
she
wants
was
to believe.
between 16 and
Yahya
19.
wants to believe.
She was the
Google
only-
Translate,
the
copy
only
paste
person-
Google
But why doesn't
Translate.
this guy allow other people to speak?
Yahya
That's my
wants
problem
to
with God.
believe in a
2000
prophet of his own invention.
No,
Not the prophet
Listen.
of the Quran, not the prophet of the Hadiths, not the prophet of Ibn Kathir, not the old prophet of Tamidi, not the prophet of Bukhari, not the prophet of Imam Muslim. No, Yahya wants to believe in the prophet of Yahya. And I want to say I prefer the prophet of Yahya than the prophet of Imam Muslim, or the prophet of Bukhari, or the prophet. No, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to read to you a fatwa. Put your hand up if you know what a fatwa is. A fatwa is a legal opinion of an Islamic qadi, an Islamic judge. And this is what a fatwa says about the abuse of children in Islam. The inquirer asks, my parents married me to a young girl who hasn't yet reached puberty. Everybody shout, hasn't yet reached puberty. Try it again. Everybody shout, hasn't yet reached puberty.
Haven't yet reached puberty.
How can I enjoy her sexually is the question. That's
These guys
your
are very
first
passionate.
problem.
So
The thought that you could even
he has
try
around him is
to
his
enjoy
supporters
a
only.
prepubescent child sexually. This is a Muslim asking a Muslim judge about enjoying a prepubescent child sexually. This is the Imam's answer. do not harm her if she cannot take intercourse, but you may hug her, kiss her, and ejaculate between her legs. That is the opinion of a Muslim judge about enjoying a prepubescent child sexually, ladies and gentlemen. And that's from, here's the source, islamweb.net, fatwa 23672, ladies and gentlemen.
I got Sahih al-Bukhari here as well, some sources here. I scroll down so you can see where it's highlighted.
Where? Which one?
I don't know if this is helpful, but
Right.
I don't know if that's helpful.
In
So these
volume
guys are just going
1,
against Islam,
book 6,
and they're allowing nobody to interject.
number 298, it says, the Prophet and I used to take a bath from a single pot while we were junub. During the menses, he used to order me to put on an izar, a dress worn below the waist, and used to fondle me while in itikaf. He used to bring his head near me and I would wash it. I used to be in my periods. Now, bearing in mind that Muslims believe that Aisha started her periods at 9, that means that Muhammad could have been doing this from any age of 9 upwards, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, in Iraq, these beliefs have real consequences.
This is a
It
boring
is
video
out
actually,
of this
it's boring
milieu
already.
that the abuse of
It's really
children
boring.
in the north of England emerged. It is out of this teaching that the lowering of the age of marriage in Iraq is occurring, in Iran is occurring, in Yemen is occurring, in Afghanistan is occurring, in Somalia is occurring. It is not a coincidence that when the rest of the world is raising the age of consent, the only place that is lowering the age of consent, Islamic world, ladies and gentlemen. So I want to make this appeal. If you disagree with that, you must stand against Islam. Because if you don't stand against Islam, ladies and gentlemen, then you are silent whilst there are forces that want to sexualize children and make it legal to marry them. And we Christians have opposed this
Legal
for
to marry them.
millennia. Even in the 7th century, before the 7th century, in the 5th century, the Byzantine Empire raised the age of consent to 12. Raised it in the 5th century. 2 centuries before Muhammad sanctioned the raping of children, ladies and gentlemen. Now,
The
the
raping of
reason why
children.
Yahya
This video
wants
is
to
graphic,
say
bro.
that
This guy is very
Aisha
graphic.
was not 6 and 9 is because he is ashamed of Islamic sources. He is ashamed of the Hadith. He is ashamed of the Quran. And he should be. They are shameful. But I've got a better way for Yahya. I've got a better way for all those Iraqi Muslims who disagree with their government. Abandon Islam and follow Christ. There's vote! There's vote! There's vote! Christ is
They're
king!
even adding
Thank you very much,
background
ladies and
sounds to
gentlemen.
this video.
I'm going to
Imagine
go
that,
over
bro.
there now and do another talk. If you would like to listen to Yahya's response, you can stay here. If you'd like to listen to me, I'm going to move.
Give him some mic.
Yeah, they're gonna cut it off at the response. That's the exact thing. They're running away now. That's the only thing I don't understand about this entire video, especially about Bob. Bob goes to Speaker's Corner and he doesn't want to debate against anybody. He just wants to speak his own mind and crush everybody else who tries to interject with what he's saying. Bro, let us correct you if you need correcting. Why do you just want to speak your own opinion and then run away and move away to another spot at Speaker's Corner and then start something else? When somebody tries to interject, then you run away again. You are just being afraid of confrontation. Even worse than that, you are afraid that people will actually start to realize that sometimes you actually lie to them, that you're actually spreading lies and you're actually trying to bring down the religion of Islam. That's exactly what you're trying to do, because why don't you allow other people to bring evidence forward, to actually have a discussion with you? Because this is not a discussion, it's you dictating the entire conversation. You can't just make a statement and when people who come from an Islamic background try to answer you, interject, and then you block them out. That means that even you yourself, you are not sure of the information that you have, that you carry. But anyway, I'm not sure what's your take on this hateful video, but hit me up in the comments. Leave a like on the video if you've not yet done so, and also remember to subscribe to the channel if you are new. Peace out.